Have you ever been humiliated in public, written it off, and then hours later been handed the perfect chance to set things right? That happened to me in a student nightclub in the north of England back in 2010. One spilled drink, one cocky stranger, and one very cold, very sticky payback. If you love hearing about real-life petty revenges, hit that like button and subscribe. This one still makes me laugh a decade later. Picture a packed student club. Sticky floors, the smell of cheap spirits, bass so deep it shakes your ribs. Strobe lights slicing through fog and sweat. I just queued forever to buy my first drink of the night, a cheap double and mixer, and finally had it in my hand. I turned to my mate, shouted something over the music, and that's when it happened. A girl next to me swung around and knocked the entire drink out of my hand. Ice and booze splashed straight down my shirt. My chest went cold and sticky instantly. She looked at me, wide-eyed. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," she said. "I'll replace it for you." Relieved, I nodded and stepped aside to let her order while I kept talking to my friend. Minutes ticked by. I kept one eye on the bar. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I saw her slipping away 2 drinks in hand. Thin black straps crossing an otherwise bare back, disappearing into the crowd. No replacement drink for me. I called after her, "Hey, where's mine?" She turned just enough to throw a smug smile over her shoulder and said, "People don't always do what they say they're going to. Let that be a lesson." Then she vanished into the mass of dancers. I stood there, mouth open, drenched and empty-handed. Fuming was an understatement, but I didn't want to start an argument and ruin my night over a stranger, so I swallowed it. We danced, we laughed. I tried to shake it off. Hours later, the crowd thinned, lights a little brighter, music a little slower. I was about to leave when I spotted something across the room. Those same thin black straps on that same bare back. She was pressed up against some guy, ferociously making out, completely lost in the moment. After a few cheap doubles, irritation turned to inspiration. This was my moment. I scanned the tables nearby, abandoned pints, half-finished alcopops, leftover mixers. I grabbed an empty pint glass and began mixing a cocktail of club floor mystery liquid. Brown, fizzy, a little pink. It smelled like regret. Heart thudding with adrenaline and a guilty kind of glee. I walked toward her. She had no idea. The music pounded. Lights flashed. My glass was brimming. She tilted her head back, neck exposed, back arched, oblivious. I came level with her. I didn't break stride. In one smooth motion, I tipped the entire pint down her bare back. The effect was instant. She let out a blood-curdling screech, twisting and shoving away from the wall, arms flailing as the cold, sticky liquid soaked her dress. People around her jumped. Her make-out partner looked confused. By the time she spun around to see who had done it, I was already walking away, calm, collected, slipping into the thinning crowd and out the door like nothing had happened. I didn't shout. I didn't cause a scene. I just waited, and when the universe handed me an opening, I restored the balance. No lifelong feud, no lasting harm, just a perfectly timed petty revenge. And every time I think about that night, I smile a little. Sometimes you don't have to fight. Sometimes you just have to be patient and let karma catch up with a little help from a pint glass. If this story gave you a grin, hit that like button right now. Tell me in the comments about the most satisfying petty revenge you've ever pulled off. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss the next story in this series, because I've got plenty more where this came from.